Welcome everybody to the podcast, episode number 28. I don't even know what day this is of the quarantine, of the lockdown. I've stopped counting at this point, but welcome everybody to the podcast. Dex is with us, and joining us today, Darren White from PurLife and 96.3 KOB FM. Welcome, Darren.
Good to see you guys. Good to see everybody.
Yeah.
It's good to see you.
Dude, we can actually see you now, Dex. I thought you were going to be super fuzzy before. I kind of
Really?
like. Yeah.
Oh, good. I looked like
we-
Lego Man before.
Yeah. No, we can totally see you now.
All right, I won't move. I was going to move in the living room, but I'll stay right here if it's good.
Yeah, just stay where you are. It's fine.
Okay.
Go
That's
out there.
fine.
Yeah.
Go out there and hang with Blue. Be a man.
No.
Yeah.
He'll eat my laptop.
You'll eat more than your laptop.
Yeah, he's a big boy. So Dex, you just got back. We were kind of joking because you had said you were going to go to Hawaii, and we were going to do a bit where I was just going to let you go and tell everybody that, not tell you that once you got to Hawaii, you're going to be quarantined for 14 days. But where did you actually end up going?
Well, it's secret. I can't really talk about it. It's top secret. I did go to a certain place for a couple weeks, and I had a really good time. Let's just leave it at that.
How did you get there?
What's that?
How did you get there? How did you travel?
On plane.
On a plane. So
On a plane.
tell everybody what it's like right now flying, because I would figure there'd be like maybe you and the pilots or something, and they'd let you sit in the cockpit with them.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. You go to the airport and it's seriously a ghost town at the airport. I mean, it's the only people you really see are the people that work at the airport.
Yeah.
So it's super creepy. You go in there, you almost feel like you're not supposed to be there. Like it's all shut down.
You're not.
And when it's just weird. So you get to your flight, and there's probably 5 or 6 people on your flight. I think the most I had on one of my stops was from Vegas to Reno. I think I had 12 people on the plane.
Yeah.
So that was probably the most. Yeah.
Okay. So do people?
Yeah. Other than that, it was pretty.
Do they wrap themselves up in like saran wrap, or what do you do? What's the protocol for traveling right now? Because if I was traveling, I would cover myself in saran wrap. I would literally look like I belonged at an S&M convention or something.
Well, I would imagine that it's probably pretty safe to fly now because there's not a lot of people flying. And from what I've heard, they spray those planes down pretty well. I don't know. I haven't seen them do that, but I guess that's the protocol is to spray the planes down after every flight, the inside. And so,
Did you take your temperature when you got back?
Yeah. Took my temperature. I feel fine. I'm doing okay. I had a friend who actually went and got tested because he got sick. So, and he was, he didn't test positive for Corona, so he's okay. But no, I feel fine. So I'm just under quarantine now for a couple weeks before I can see anybody.
Yeah.
So
Why?
well, just to make sure,
Okay.
I don't want to get anybody sick. I might have it. You never know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you want to wear a mask. That's the big thing is wearing a mask and gloves when you get on the plane.
Yeah.
So
Remember the Naked Gun movie, The Body Condom?
Oh yeah.
Where do you get one of those now?
Yeah. Seriously. Probably the Castle Superstore. I imagine that's probably, if you need a body condom, shout out to the Castle Superstore. I don't think they're considered essential right now, so you're probably going to have to wait until
Essential right.
the job opens everything back up. So, all right. Well, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're safe. You need to stop traveling, though. You're risking your life.
well, it's for a good cause. Okay. This is something I had.
Yeah, it was a good call.
Yeah. That's the only
We'll leave it right there. It was a good call.
Okay.
way.
Well, Darren, how
Turned on your radio show, Darren, today. I turned on your radio show and you weren't there.
I was not there. I had the week off.
Corona, you got the Rona, didn't you?
I got
can you
Rona.
talk about it, Darren, or do you have to keep it under wraps?
I just took a week off.
Okay. All right. You just needed some time for yourself there.
Yeah, no, I took a week off, and it was nice actually. Because I still have obviously the other job too. So I was busy. We are looking at opening our Rio Rancho store very, very soon, and so the inspection is Monday, and so that's kept me pretty busy trying to get that finished.
How are the inspectors doing those things right now? Because
Like this.
so it's all video.
We're going to do it video. It's going to be interesting. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So
So how many stores will that make for PurLife now?
8.
8 stores.
Yeah.
So are you the largest? Are you the largest? Can I just use street terms? Are you the largest weed dealer in the state right now?
Yeah. Just call me El Chapo. And I don't want to be called Shorty. I'm actually watching that right now on Netflix, so that's why I'm.
Yeah.
So no, Ultra Health has more stores. We're the second largest. And I think Ultra Health has 20 some stores, and we'll have 10 probably within the next 3 or 4 months. We'll have 10 stores.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Wow, cool. Adam Martinez posted a question for you on your screen there, Darren.
Yes.
Can you see it?
Hold on.
Click the live comments at the top right.
Oh, live comments.
There you
click
go.
That.
All right. And then where is it?
It's from Adam Martinez. I posted it up on here. He said, ask Darren when the Clovis store opens.
So Clovis will be probably next 3 months. Next 3
months.
Yeah. That's after. So Rio Rancho, we did Alamogordo, Rio Rancho, and then Clovis and Hobbs are next.
Okay. All right, cool. We have a lot of questions actually coming in for you, Darren. So Charles wants to know if you can get video prescriptions. So can somebody actually get their card without like doing it this way through like Zoom or whatever?
They will be able to, but my understanding is the state is writing the rules right now for it. But that have to do more with the renewal of the license, I believe. And so the answer is kind of a yes, but limited. It needs to go 100% to that type of a format, and I think it eventually will. We run obviously a store called Canacare that does the evaluations, and so it would definitely right now. So everybody knows though what the state did, since we're not doing renewals, is they extended from March the 15th. Anybody that expired between March the 15th moving forward into June, they were automatically extended. And right now the cutoff is June the 15th. And I anticipate that the state will probably add a little bit more time to it as well.
Okay. All right, cool. There's another cat on here right now named Robert Martinez. This is going to be fun. Hey, Darren, I'm a medical card holder. All I ask is for you to say sorry for arresting me for 1.5 grams, and I'm next door to the Rio PurLife.
I arrested him for 1 gram?
1.5 grams.
One more.
You have a day?
You jerk.
He says, can we please end this beef now?
I apologize. Guys, honestly, I've said this publicly in the newspaper. I said it on TV interviews that I did. Yes, we all know it was very public, my separation with Governor Johnson in 1999. My position was not really about, without getting too far into it, my position and my disagreement with Governor Johnson. Governor Johnson came out for the decriminalization of marijuana in June of 1999.
Right.
And I stayed with Gary over that. And I told him, I said, that is a conversation that we should have. But what happened is, as we kind of moved along, Gary progressively got to the point where he felt like, and he said publicly, that all drugs should be legal. And that was in November of 1999. And Gary was somebody I had such great, and still do. I love Gary. He is one of the most motivated, intelligent people I know on this planet. And so I just felt like, as his Secretary of Public Safety, I just felt like if I couldn't stand by his side on this, what became a very important initiative in his second term, that I needed to step aside. But, I've made it very, very clear. I was wrong. about marijuana, cannabis, as I said, I'm not only obviously involved in PurLife, but I'm a patient as well. I've had back surgery several times. I just had my knee replaced a year ago. I beat my body up over the years. I was on a pain management program with prescription drugs for many, many years. And I still take them occasionally. I do. But as I said, we all change. I think sometimes people get upset on my radio show because I'm a conservative. I am still a conservative. I'm a fiscal conservative. I believe that my credo is maximum freedom through limited government. And I think governments spend way too much money. Social issues, I'm just not, that doesn't, I don't want to say I don't care about them because they're important issues that we still deal with in our nation. But I guess it's all the way to describe it is I'm a classic liberal. I'm more concerned about the economic well-being of our country than I do social issues.
Yeah. So let's talk about that for a little bit, because if people watching right now don't know, you have a radio program Monday through Friday from 1 to 3 on what used to be KOB AM, 770 KOB AM, and now you're on the Flamethrower 96.3 FM. And you've been covering this stuff from day one. I mean, Dex and I have done the show with you before. I've come in, and you've been covering this. So give us your take on what's going on with the United States and everybody starting to get a little bit anxious about having to shelter in place. Because I'll tell you my opinion right now. Like, I'm seeing a lot of these protests, and you see these ICU nurses out there standing, quietly, blocking people so they can't, gridlock the streets. And it kind of rubs me a little bit the wrong way, because I've never been a person that's just kind of a yes man and falls in line. I've always kind of been the rebel. But I think in a situation like this, where we don't have a super high death toll with this virus. Now, I'm not saying that people aren't dying, because obviously they are, but this disease is super, super contagious, and it's just wreaking havoc on people's lives. The government's been shut down, states are shut down, businesses are shut down. What's your take on all of this, on all the protests? Just kind of give us your professional opinion as a broadcaster.
We're going 6 weeks into this now. Yeah. And so that it's to be expected that people are getting cabin fever. The thing we know about this virus is what we don't know about the virus. When it started early on, I took a lot of criticism. And I guess, for 5 years, I was the head of emergency management for the state as well. And so I've always been from that standpoint of, you prepare for the worst and you hope for the best. And I knew early on when we started to get an understanding that it was going to spread, the United States was going to get it, and the experts were pretty clear that this thing was probably going to move pretty rapidly. Now, what I think the shortcoming we've had as a country is, in 2005, one of my heroes of all time is George W. Bush. He's just somebody I have great respect for. He read a book. He was at the ranch in Crawford, and he read a book, and it was about the Spanish flu. And he was so shaken by it that as soon as he got back to Washington, he got a hold of Fran Townsend, who was his Homeland Security advisor in the White House. And he told her, if we have to prepare for the pandemic, once the pandemic is here, it's too late. And so he put together a bunch of people in the White House, Homeland Security, all the ABCs of government agencies. And they put together a playbook. And that playbook was very comprehensive. They did the funding. And if you look at that study, it's everything that they projected would happen in a pandemic absolutely happened. We failed initially because we were not able to test. We were not doing surveillance testing. And surveillance testing can because like, the one thing that it's an invisible enemy, as the president says.
Yeah,
that's right. But you have to be able to do this surveillance testing across the country to start to determine, okay, where are some hot spots? Where are the clusters going to form? And then try to isolate it in those areas. And we all remember, we didn't do any testing for months. We knew it was coming. There's claims that, that the tests from the CDC were contaminated, and that held it up. And I think that really put us at a huge disadvantage. We're learning now that people died in the United States in February.
In January. Didn't somebody die in January, I read earlier?
Well, they felt the first recorded fatality was in February 27th. Yes. That you're talking about the elderly couple in Santa Clara.
Yes.
Right. And they believe those are in January. I don't know if they've officially determined that, but my point being is, the virus was in the United States, and maybe at the end of January and all through February, this thing was moving across the United States. There's also now another study. I don't want to get too far in the weeds here, but there's also a study now that they did in LA County. And what they did was they did the antibody tests.
Yeah.
And if these tests hold up, it's likely that between 40 and 50% of America has been infected.
Wow.
And we don't even know. So getting back to getting back to work. Yeah, we want the economy. It's not able to sustain a complete shutdown for months on end. I think that we're going to realize that there's a lot of businesses are never going to come back. They're just not going to make it. And so we have to do things. I think Texas is a good example. The governor of Texas, his plan is start to gradually release the restrictions, but have fail-safe mechanisms if they start to see things, a spike in infections and spike in deaths, that they can slowly kind of take some action to try to contain it a little bit more. So, but we've got to open up. There's no question.
What about grants? I was just reading today. Did you hear about the mayor of Grants here in New Mexico? He basically he's saying, screw what the governor is, with the extension.
Yeah.
And he's opening it up. What does that look like for them?
He's a very interesting character. I don't know if you saw the video of him, but at any point I thought the camera was going to pull back and he was going to be petting a tiger.
Yeah.
I don't mean anything by that. He's an interesting looking character. That's all I can say. I think he's feeling the frustration of cities, especially municipalities in New Mexico. They live only on gross receipts tax, basically. And with all your businesses shut, you got no money.
Yeah.
And so I think some of these cities are actually understanding that they could go bankrupt.
But those are hot spots, right? I mean, Grants is a hot spot.
Well, not so much Grants as it is McKinley County and San Juan County.
Yeah.
What's happening on the Navajo Nation is just devastating.
Right.
Well, I had to go out and my brother is actually stranded in New Mexico right now because he lives in Northern California and he's stuck out here. And I had to go take him a bunch of supplies and stuff. And we drove right through part of the Navajo Nation out there, whichever tribe happens to be out there. But I guess they're just getting absolutely decimated by the virus. Like they have curfews in place. Like you can't be on the streets after 7 o'clock. I mean, it's crazy on the reservations right now. What's happening?
I had the president of the Navajo Nation, Jonathan Nez, on the show, and they were doing. And I think this is the third week in a row that they're doing it. They shut down Friday night at 8 o'clock, and the quarantine lasts until Monday morning. And you can't even come out of your house.
Yeah.
But if you look at New Mexico, those daily totals that we get at 4 o'clock every day, the large majority of those cases, those new cases are coming from McKinley and they're coming from San Juan County. So. 40% of the households on the Navajo Nation don't have water. They don't have running water. And so think about everything we've learned from the very beginning of this virus. Everything we were told was wash your hands, right?
Yeah.
First line of defense. What if you don't have running water? What if you don't have adequate access to adequate health care like they do on the nation? And so I'm saddened by it, but I'm actually not surprised by it because of the conditions and what the folks are dealing. And as I said, it's just devastating. And you hope post-corona, that maybe we start to pay a little bit more attention of some of the what life is like on the nation and for all of our tribes and pueblos, because those folks are suffering and it's horrible. Governor Richardson I had him on the show as well. He's raising money. He's trying to do whatever he can to get needed resources. There's a lot of folks stepping up right now, and believe me, it's all needed.
Yeah. Excuse me. So what has your business been like as far as PurLife stuff? Like, how has that been going? Because fortunately you guys were able to stay open. They called you essential, which is good. And what's business been for you guys? Have you started doing? I've heard that you guys are allowed to deliver now. Is that correct?
We are. We're currently not having to do it because our curbside delivery is very successful. That's working very, very well. So when it first happened, when everybody knew that the governor was going to have to take steps and there were going to be restrictions, nobody knew what that meant. And so that's when we were seeing the run on the toilet paper and all of some of the nonsense that we dealt with early on. There was, we could see that the request, the amount that people were purchasing was going up, no question. And that lasted for about a week or 10 days. And then when when the governor issued her first public health emergency and all the producers and the dispensaries were allowed to stay open, then it kind of leveled off. And that's really where it has been. We haven't seen, we've seen probably a slight dip, if anything. But as I said, we're doing curbside delivery. We've restricted our hours. We're only open 8 hours a day. We've put in the sneeze guards. Everybody we have masks. They have plenty of hand sanitizer. And so, it's going, I'm glad that they did, because this is, there's a lot of the patients, the number one condition is PTSD. And those are people are suffering from anxiety. And this is stressful for people. That's, I know Captain Obvious, it is stressful. And so for a lot of people, they need their medicine. They have to have their medicine. And why the hell should we be treated differently than a Walgreens or anybody else? And so we're grateful that we're able to provide that. I worry about our employees every single day. I don't even want to say it. We're grateful for how it has been, but we're taking every precaution that we can. We're trying to do things for them. We buy their lunch every day. I mean, we're trying to do things to let them know that we appreciate what they're doing, but we know that there's stress not only for them and for their families, but they're out there every single day doing it, and I am incredibly proud of them and feel blessed to be associated with some of the folks that are just out there, regardless of what it is. I mean, it's the first responders, the healthcare workers, all of them.
Yeah, the people that bag your groceries, they're the new first responders. They're the new heroes out there, and
be nice to them. Please be nice to them.
Yeah, it's I have so much love and respect for anybody right now that's gonna put themselves out there, and they're on the battlefield. That's what it is. This is a war that's going on, and they're putting themselves out in the battlefield.
Absolutely,
and I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, it's. There's times when when I go out in the morning to go to work, and you take a look around, and you're like, what is happening? What's going on? This doesn't seem real.
Feels like a movie almost, Yeah.
It's just surreal at times. But the one thing, and I always have to think about, because I do know frustrations are starting to mount, that people are getting restless. They're concerned. I mean, business owners, I mean, are we going to be able to make it? I mean, are we going to be able, these loans are coming out and it's helping people, but long term, what does it mean for their business? And so, I'm hopeful that, I think that the numbers, I think the governor did a good job of shutting it down. I think she did it fast. The one thing too is that, the thing you also get asked all the time is, well, did she go too far? Didn't she do too much? Why is the florist not open, but they can sell flowers at Smith's? And I think those are all legitimate questions. And the one thing that I've said is, and again, going back to my emergency management experience, when this is done, after 9/11, we did what was called the 9/11 Commission. And that was to evaluate everything that happened leading up to the attack. And then how did we respond, not just from obviously the first responders, but economically, all of those things. And I think it makes sense that we do the same thing here. Because, we have, it's not if this happens again. When is the next outbreak? Not if we get an outbreak again. And I'm going to tell you guys, there's things that, in my career in public service, we were not as prepared as we should have been for this virus. We just weren't.
Yeah.
And that's not and I'm not trying to make this a political statement, because I'm not. I'm just saying, as a nation, because believe me, everything, the politics, it's such a poisonous environment. We're so divided, and everybody just wants to make everything about politics. And you know what? There'll be a time for that. Right now, people are hurting, people are dying. It's back. I grew up in New York, and it's bad back there. I mean, it's just bad back there. And today, 50,000 people. We learned 50,000 people have lost their life to this. It's serious. It's very contagious. But at the end of the day, we don't. There's a lot we don't know about this damn virus.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question. So one of the things that just kind of rubs me a little bit the wrong way are when the people, they start these protests. And now I understand part of being an American is that we have the right to get out there and we can protest and we can demonstrate. And that's part of the beauty of being an American citizen, right? But one of the things that it kind of rubs me the wrong way is people are starting to come out and they're talking about, you're taking away our freedoms. This is turning into an oligarchy. Just all the bullshit that you're hearing from people. And it's like, it almost seems like people can't see the forest through the trees. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like they can't recognize that there's something bigger than themselves going on. And it's not just, in the United States. This is globally. This thing is happening globally.
So it's bad information, right? It's because there's so much information out there right now. And think about it. We're all sheep. Most of us just want to be one of the cool guys, and we want to follow, and we want to be a part of something. And I think there's so much bad information out there right now. That's why you see so many people going out and deciding, oh, let's go protest, in a time when there's a virus that's killing people, because people are doing it.
I will say it again, at the risk of not trying to make it too political. There's something else that currently is taking place that affects this. And that is, in 7 months, we have an election for the president of the United States.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you look at many, and I'm online, and many of the protests, there's political leanings to them. And I get it. I understand it. I've been involved in politics for 30 years. But, I think the thing that's heartbreaking is that after, 9/11, we did come together as a nation, and we worked together as a nation to try to, to bounce back. We knew we would, but we're not doing that here. I mean, this is an absolute, I think that's been the most disheartening thing about it, is that everything has been drawn along political lines. And that's unfortunate. Look, I respect somebody's right to go out and say, I'm sick and tired of this, and I want to go back to work. And I think it's a legitimate question to say, when did we shut down? What did we shut down? And should we have done it that way? Those are legitimate questions to have what we call an after action report. Go from A to Z and look at everything that was done and say, look, these are maybe some of the things that we can do differently. But I don't think there's any question whatsoever that we know the virus is very, very contagious. And I think the governor should get a lot of credit for moving quickly and shutting down. And I think that those quick actions have saved lives. There's no question in my mind that she was able to flatten the curve. It took a little bit of time. We have not, there were some predictions that 100, 200,000 people. Earlier in the week, the president said, they thought 1 million, 2 million people were going to die. I don't know what those numbers really are, but I think it's safe to say that, a lot of people, had we done nothing as a nation, more people would have died than I care to mention or you care to mention. And so credit is due. Now after the fact, and when this thing goes away, if it ever goes away, we can have a discussion about if it happens next time. But you're a great example. Why close down the liquor stores? That will take off some of the demand of a Smith's. Not as people have to go to the Smith's. If you have the liquor stores open, the florists. I get that. Those are legitimate conversations to have, and there's enough to look at when we're done to say this is where we did good, and this is where we can do better next time.
Yeah, one of the things I agree with what you're saying. I mean, there are a ton of legitimate questions out there. So I'm a partner in bars downtown and a liquor store. Everybody knows that. And when the governor came out and said that they were closing down liquor stores, they said it was to help with social distancing and help to stop the spread of the coronavirus. But it doesn't make any sense, because when you look at a situation like that, let's just look at a liquor store, for instance, a mom and pop liquor store like we are downtown. We have an easier chance and an easier way to manage the number of people that come through that door versus a large scale grocery store like a Smith's or an Albertsons or whatever. We can actually control that a little better. So I agree with you 100%. There are a ton of legitimate questions out there as to why are these things happening? Why are these businesses having to close? It totally makes sense. And I get that it's reactionary because people are freaked out. People are scared and they're freaked out and they're anxious. And, the governor's, she's just a person like we are. She puts her pants on one leg at a time. Politicians, they're just people. And this is a very reactionary time that we're living in. And what we're seeing are leaders reacting to this situation that's happening.
Yeah. And I think they're trying to do the best they can with the information that they have. People say, why did the president come out and say, that 1 to 2 million people were going to die and we need to take all of these restrictions? Because that was the information that he was being provided at the time. And I think he was trying to make decisions based on the data that, he was provided. And I think they're all that. Nobody wants. If there's anybody in this country that thinks that the governor or any governor wants this state to be shut down, it's not only are we getting kicked in the gut because of COVID-19, but then you chuck on top of it the oil and gas industry crisis.
Yeah.
I mean, we could be our budget is $7 billion. We could be potentially looking at a $7 billion shortfall. And having worked in government as long as I did, I can tell you guys, that means a lot of people in government are going to lose their jobs too. There's no way to cut that type of money from the budget and think that people aren't going to lose their jobs. Hey, guys, you do me a favor. Will you answer Kathy's question and tell her yes?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that for a second.
Not do that. People are doing this, and it popped up on CNN this afternoon. Do not inject yourself with Lysol, people. That's a bad idea.
Darren, I have a question. Do you think President Trump is trying to thin the herd? by saying stupid things like this, do you think he has an actual plan to thin all this stupidity?
Okay.
All the people that are dumb, he's just trying to thin the herd because he knows,
First of all,
that they're going to do it.
If that's the case, the three of us would be dead right now.
yeah. Look,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
true.
know what, you know, and the man never ceases to amaze you with some of the things that he says. I will say this: there are things that the president did that he deserves credit for. There are things that he did that I have questions about. But I think the one thing the president needs to do is he needs to shut the F up. He needs to be quiet. He needs to take the advice from people like Dr. Fauci. He needs to take Dr. Birx, the experts. But that was, I mean, that is like, when I watched that, I thought to myself, how can this man, does he think that's funny? No. I think he gets criticized so much for people thinking that he's not very bright, that he tries to sometimes come out with things where he's like, you know, we're going to inject you with light, and maybe we can inject you with a disinfectant. I don't know. I just don't know. But I just know it's wholly irresponsible for the president of the United States to make some of the comments that he makes. And he needs to shut the hell up. I mean, because more people go, well, Jesus, the president told me that it's okay. Break out the Lysol. I mean, it's I don't get it. I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for President Trump. I am a conservative. I don't know if I'm a Republican anymore because I don't. I'm a conservative.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he's doing. I have no idea. If anybody that wants to try to jump in the man's brain, but I will tell you this for the sake of the nation. And he said today that, oh, I was just being sarcastic. Well, I got news for you, Mr. President. We're in the midst of a global pandemic, a national health emergency where tens of thousands of Americans are dying. And the thing you have to understand, this is a horrible death. They're alone when they die in these hospitals. And COVID-19 has one goal and one goal only. It is to take over your body and suck every bit of oxygen out of your lungs until you die. It basically kills you that way.
Yeah.
Why are you
creepy
about this? And why are you being sarcastic? I don't think he's being sarcastic. I think it's just I think he thinks he's, he made the comment once that he's an extremely stable genius. Maybe he is. I don't know.
Yeah, he might be. Maybe we're just all idiots.
Thanks, Kathy.
He's definitely a narcissist, that's for sure. I mean, he's never wrong, and it's always other people's fault, and he talks about things that he shouldn't talk about. I mean, I know a lot about a little, or I should say, let me rephrase that. I know a little about a lot, and I'm by far I'm not an expert in anything, and you're right. Some of the things that come out of his mouth when he's standing up there with like 2 world-renowned doctors and he's basically giving medical advice, he does need to stop that. You're right. It's
the same thing with the hydroxychloroquine. It's the same thing. It wasn't tested. There was a possibility it was a malaria drug. And there was a possibility. But he comes out, and I honestly believe this. I think he liked to talk about it because he was able to say hydroxychloroquine. Because remember, but he would say, "What do you got to lose? Go ahead and try it. It's okay." And now the CDC, the FDA, they've all had to come out now in the last couple of days and say, "Guys, it's actually killing people. Don't take it." It's not. Here's what I need the United States to do. I need the president to reassure us. He needs to come out and give us the information and reassure the nation that we're going to be okay. These press briefings have become, I don't know. I think he misses his rallies and he sees it. I mean, the guy comes out and talks on Twitter about how great his press briefing ratings are, that they're better than The Bachelor. So I don't know.
I mean, you know what he's doing. I mean, all he's doing is campaigning. That's exactly what these daily coronavirus press briefings are, because there are certain rules in place for broadcast during political seasons. You know, I'm sure you probably know this.
Right.
Everybody has to get equal amounts of time
Right.
with being on air. If they're going to be on a certain network, then the opponent of this person has to be granted the exact same opportunity. And he's totally just trying to use this to get himself reelected.
He's on every day.
He's on every single day. You know, Joe Biden has basically, at this point, kind of become a ghost. I mean, you don't really see
the memes. The Joe Biden memes are amazing, by the way.
Yeah. He walked out of the briefing today because he was upset that the reporters were asking him questions about Lysol. And so he walked out. But you know, guys, that's what I'm saying. It's like these, you know, remember the old, I think it was Paul Begala that said, never let a good emergency go to waste, right? And what he was saying is it's an opportunity for leaders to show what they're made of. You know, and I always said this, even to Gary, when I was with Gary, you know, these emergencies that we deal with, whether it's forest fires or, you know, floods or a global pandemic, they're test moments for presidents, for governors, for all of our public officials. And it's an opportunity for them to show the nation, in this case, the president, an opportunity to show the nation that he's there to reassure us. He's got the professional people behind him doing what they need to be doing to make sure that we're going to be okay. And, you know, unfortunately, that's not really what we've been seeing. We just haven't. As I said, I think it's an opportunity for him to use it as kind of like he talks about the craziest things at these briefings. I mean, it's just, and I'm like, where the hell did that come from? Focus, man, just focus. Focus on COVID-19. Your response to anybody that asks you a question about something asinine is to say, look, right now, we are going to focus on COVID-19. That's the most important issue confronting our nation, and we'll have another time to deal with those issues. But right now, please ask me questions about COVID-19. You know,
hey, real quick, Sarah, somebody just posted a question. They said, why is this Trump bashing? We can get this on any newscast or social platform. We're not bashing anybody. We're not bashing President Trump. We're just talking about what's going on. If, you know, you feel free to take off and, I don't know, go turn on cartoons or something.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if you, everybody knows, I don't have a velvet painting of President Trump wearing angel wings over my bed.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know if I believe you.
I will prove by you. No, I mean, because again, I've changed a little bit, I guess, and maybe that was brought on a lot by the president, but I consider myself to be like very independent. And, you know, I'm sorry that there are things that I thought, like I said, president has done things right, and he should be commended for that. But this atmosphere where if you even question anything that the president of the United States has done, then, you know, you're the Antichrist and you're just a Trump hater and a never Trumper. No, I mean, it's you know, when you talk about, it's one of the things that makes the United States so great. It's what, you know, my father went to World War II over. It's like, we get to call into question our political leaders. And we all don't have to be fans of the president or the governor or anything. As I said, I may disagree with the protesters right now, some of them.
Yeah.
I respect their right to challenge our officials, and they should. And as I said, let me just, you know what, let me just throw this out there. Could you imagine if Barack Obama went out there and said, you know, H1N1, wow, that was crazy. H1N1 is
jealous.
H1N1 is a horrible virus. I don't know why I did. And I think you should inject yourself with Lysol.
Yeah.
You should inject yourself with Lysol. That might work. We should test that. Do you know what the Republicans would do? They'd set themselves on fire. They would be screaming at the top of their lungs that this man is wholly unfit for office.
Yeah.
And so stop with the hypocrisy. You know what? You challenged President Obama. I challenged President Obama and some of the things that he did. And why can't I do that now with President Trump? And be considered un-American because I do it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, are you going to get a haircut anytime soon, Darren?
I'm going for the Gary Busey, as Ricky.
Yeah. Well, I've already told Darren I've got him taken care of if he doesn't want a haircut. I've got him covered. So
my oldest has a ponytail, so maybe
there you go.
I'm gonna do that. The man bun.
The man bun.
So I want to read something to you guys. I talked to a gentleman last night. Everybody knows that I vape, and I've been getting a lot of shit about vaping. And I want to read you something. I actually talked to the man who produces the juice that I use in my e-cigarette. He's in Austin, Texas, and we had a conversation last night. And he was talking about this study. And so I want to read this. I want to read something to you. Nicotine could protect people from contracting the coronavirus, according to...
Cut his mic.
Let me go ahead and mute you real quick, Dex.
You can't mute me.
I can mute you. Let me just go ahead and mute you real quick. There we go. You're muted.
Wow.
Nicotine could protect people from contracting the coronavirus, according to a new research in France, where further trials are planned to test whether the substance could be used to prevent or treat the deadly illness. The findings come after researchers at a top Paris hospital examined 343 coronavirus patients with 139 infected people.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
How did you? Hold on. Let me just do this.
Why are you still reading this? Oh my God.
There we go. Hold on. Here's the interesting part about this. The research echoed similar findings published in the New England Journal.
Conducted by Marlboro?
What? What'd you say?
It was funded by Marlboro.
It wasn't funded by Marlboro. All right, Dex, you're back. Be quiet. I'm just reading you what is said here, okay? The research echoed similar findings published in the New England Journal of Medicine last month that suggested that 12.6% of 1,000 people infected in China were smokers. That was a much lower figure than the number of regular smokers in China's general population, about 26%. So the theory is that nicotine could adhere to the cell receptors, therefore blocking the virus from entering cells and spreading to the body, according to renowned neurobiologist Jean-Pierre Chagnon.
You just keep vaping, bro. You're going to keep doing it anyway, so.
Well, why are you busting my balls? It's good news. We always do some coronavirus news.
Enjoy. Yeah. Just keep sucking down that vape juice, man. Keep going.
Yeah. You guys do like it was only like 5 minutes ago we were bashing the president for Lysol.
Hey man, I'm just reading the news. That's all. You know what? This will be on CNN and Fox tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm sure it probably will be.
So Lysol put out this morning that don't inject yourself with Lysol. It's not going to work and it'll probably kill you. And so I guess, for being responsible, we should say, don't listen to what Buck just said. Lighting up a Marlboro is not going to make you.
Lucky says Lucky Strike versus COVID-19.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That is funny. Okay, so
I'm going to kill you last.
Let's talk about something that's probably going to make Dex's eyes glaze over a little bit, but this is something every year, this time of the year. The NFL draft is actually happening right now as we speak. The first round is over, and one of the big questions that was being asked of everybody, where is Tua going to land from Alabama? So, Darren, are you keeping up with the NFL draft at all? You watching this?
Man, guys, I want to tell you something. I would always watch the first 2 days religiously and a lot of the third. And I turned it on and the whole thing, I just felt like I didn't want to be in their houses that way. I just was uncomfortable with it. And I didn't watch it. I didn't get to boo the commish either.
Yeah. Well, the first round, everybody was speculating that Joe Burrow was going to go first, the quarterback from LSU, and that is what happened exactly. He went to the Bengals.
Badass.
Redskins, with their second pick, took Chase Young from Ohio State. He's an edge rusher. The Lions took a cornerback from Ohio State. Number 4 was the Giants. They took a tackle from Georgia. And Tua from Alabama, with the 5th pick, landed with the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
So Tua ended up with the Miami Dolphins.
He's a Finn. He's now a Finn.
What's so funny is he was the second quarterback to go over Justin Herbert from Oregon. The Chargers actually ended up with Justin Herbert, which I think is, with Tua's health issues, I didn't.
I'm trying to wake up Dex.
Huh?
I'm trying to wake up Dex.
Oh wait, that way.
I told you his eyes were going to glaze over.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What happens if the NFL doesn't happen this year?
Wait, stop 1 second.
What?
Are you laying on the bed and kicking your feet like a 15-year-old girl?
Maybe.
Oh my gosh.
God.
Maybe.
Watching.
Look, he's got the mustache. He's laying there. His feet.
Kathy, send in Blue.
No, don't send him Blue. He'll eat me.
He missed you.
He'll bite my toes.
He wants to see you.
No, he doesn't.
He's like, where's Dex?
That's funny.
Stop moving your feet like that. You are freaking me out.
Answer my question. What are you guys going to do if the NFL doesn't happen? Is America going to fall apart?
Yeah.
What's your prediction on that, Darren? Like I've said when all this stuff started, I figured we were probably 6 to 8 weeks before things started to normalize again. And right now we're at the 6 week.
It's going to happen.
I'm still sticking to them.
It's not going to be in stadiums with fans. It's not. That isn't going to happen. But yes, I think as a nation, we're going to be so desperately in need. And what the hell is ESPN going to do if they don't start getting some live sports? So it's coming. We're going to get it. And but I just don't think there'll be fans. I don't think there'll be fans in stadiums of 60, 70,000 people.
Yeah.
Maybe to the end of 21.
Yeah.
You think that's how long it'll go?
For the big crowds, concerts, big giant concerts, it's going to be a while. Yeah. We're going to get used to, like I said, even the UFC and Dana with his Fight Island, that's just going to be. But I think we're all accustomed to things just being weird, and football without fans. Okay, I mean that'll suck a little bit, but we're just going to be grateful to watch the games. Who cares about the fans anyway? I mean, it's so. Yeah. I think we'll have football. I don't know if they talk about trying to structure it in such a way that they play in certain stadiums. I think football will be around. I think we're going to have football in the fall, but I do not think there'll be fans for the entire year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys? Have you had a chance to watch the new Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance?
Mm-mm. I'm watching El Chapo right now.
Oh,
I really
am.
What's that?
Are you watching El Chapo or Narcos?
I already watched Narcos. Now I'm watching El Chapo.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of those on El Chapo.
Yeah,
there's movies and series.
I'm just finishing it up. What else have you guys been watching?
Let's see. I mean, The Last Dance. You guys need to watch the new Michael Jordan documentary. It's incredible. It's one of the greatest documentaries I've ever watched. It really is. Better than Tiger King. I mean, it's completely different, but
Tiger King was not a great documentary. It was just entertaining.
You watch your mouth. You watch your mouth.
What was the documentary about Dr. Dre? What was that one called? That was a great documentary.
That's a good one.
That was a great documentary.
Michael Jordan is the greatest, not just basketball player. I think he's right up there with Muhammad Ali and he's the greatest, one of the greatest athletes of all time.
Oh, and that's what this documentary is all about. It just showcases the type of human being Michael Jordan was. He just wasn't a great athlete. This guy was so humble, and he was the greatest team player ever. I mean, and it brings back so many memories, from, when I was a kid in the 80s. So it was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this. And then just hearing about all the drama that the Bulls went through, I was like, holy cow, it went that deep. It's crazy.
I love Michael Jordan. I'm a Knicks fan. I've always been a Knicks fan. I'll always be a Knicks fan because I like pain, because I'm a Giants fan. I like pain. But Michael Jordan was just so amazing to watch all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will watch that.
Yeah. I just, this last weekend, they had the season finale of Better Call Saul that came on. Yeah. And this last season of Better Call Saul was easily comparable to the best season of Breaking Bad.
Don't you say it. Don't.
Did you watch? Have you seen this season?
No. I stopped.
Do you watch Better Call Saul at all?
I don't know. Maybe ask Kat 3 seasons and then stopped.
This last season, no shit, is as good as Breaking Bad. As like, if you take the best season of Breaking Bad, I would put this season up against it any day.
You shut your dirty mouth. Shut your dirty mouth.
I'm telling you, you got to trust me on this. You've got to trust me on this.
All right.
What did you say with Ozark? Is that what you said? Ozark?
Or
Better Call Saul?
Better Call Saul.
He said Better Call Saul this last season has been just as good as any season of Breaking Bad.
Bullshit.
I'm calling it.
Dex, have you seen it?
No, I fell off.
Okay. Well, then you can't speak to it then.
I fell off.
We'll start telling people to fucking inject Lysol into their veins. Unless you've seen it and you can't speak to it, Dex.
Okay. Good call.
You know what? Just didn't do it.
Another series you guys need to watch that just hit Netflix, and this series has been out a couple years, I think. Waco. Waco.
No, don't care.
No, it's good, man. It's real good.
Yeah.
You know David Koresh, the Colt.
I know who David Koresh is.
What's that?
Is it about David Koresh?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. All right. I'm ready.
Really good. It's on Netflix.
I'm writing that down. Waco.
Just
Waco.
in case. Wayco.
Have you guys been watching Married at First Sight or 90 Day Fiance?
No. All right, I'm taking you off now. All right, there we go. Now he's going to start talking about The Bachelor, and I just like to apologize to everybody for that. So.
And wait a second, let's see his feet again.
He's back now.
You don't have slippers on. Jesus.
They're twinkle toes. I got twinkle toes.
Blue, go bite him.
No. Whoa, what is that?
Does everybody know who Blue is?
Are you clapping? What is that?
I don't know. I have no idea. Well, I thought it was you. It's Dex.
I'm not doing anything.
The Russian. It's the Russian.
No, I guess it is Dex.
It is not me. I'm not doing anything.
Let's see what's going on here.
I swear you look like you're talking to your girlfriends. You're kidding. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. What are you doing later? Oh my God.
Kick your feet back and forth. Oh, he did not say that.
Oh,
Dex,
man.
you got a question. Come on.
Huh? What? Can you guys touch on Dex's firefighting preparation? What would you guys like to know about my firefighter preparation?
I don't know. What are you doing?
Well, let's see. I'm just working out a lot. School starts back up on May middle of May 15th.
So how many credits do you have now? How many are you lacking? 15?
13. I got to get 13 done.
You got to be able to.
You've got 2 completed.
Yeah, well, I got 3 completed.
3 completed. Okay.
3 courses?
No, not 3 courses. 3 credit hours.
Oh, so you're on track.
I'm on track, sure. Well,
okay.
Yeah.
I'll leave right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got that coming up, and no, it's just trying to work out without getting injured. That's my big thing. Don't go too crazy, and just try to eat healthy and just go running every day. Trying to get strong. I'm 40, so it's like I got to be careful, man. I can get injured real quick.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Ooh, I'm 40.
That's old. You kidding me?
Whatever, dude.
Child's play.
Oh, I forgot. Right. You guys are a lot older than me. I forgot about that.
We're more seasoned than you are. Yes, we are.
That's true.
Now, we also don't lay on our bed on our bellies, kicking our feet back and forth.
It's very comfortable. Okay, it's very comfortable.
All right, so I've got 10 stories here, 10 quick stories. I'm going to read you guys real quick. This is called Coronavirus Good News. Number 1, a lot of doctors are worried they'll bring home the coronavirus. So RV owners have been lending their vehicles out through a Facebook group called RVs for MDs.
Nice.
That's cool.
That is cool.
That's very cool.
Number 2, dairy farmers have had to dump out extra milk they can't sell, so Publix grocery stores are now buying it from them and donating it to food banks. Also, Walmart just teamed up with Nextdoor on a program called Neighbors Helping Neighbors that makes it easier to see if anybody in your community needs help with a grocery run. That's good. Number 3, the online bank Ally announced they're forgiving overdraft debt so customers can get their entire $1,200 stimulus payment. Good for you.
Hey, are we going to get another Trump check? Have you heard anything about that?
I don't know. I don't know.
No,
I'm not sure.
No more Trump checks?
Yeah, don't derail me though.
People are curious.
Number 4, a small family-owned grocery store near Toronto caught a guy stealing food the other day, but instead of calling the cops, they sent him off with full bags of groceries. Good for them. Number 5, hundreds of doctors and nurses who flew to New York to help out finally went home this week, so a bunch of NYPD officers lined up and gave them a round of applause as they left. That's cool.
Cool, very cool.
Yeah. So that's those are your good news stories from the coronavirus outbreak that's happening.
Man.
Yeah.
Aaron Ortiz says it hurts back to lay on his stomach like you are, Dex.
Well, that's not my problem. It doesn't hurt me.
That's because Dex has the body of a 14-year-old girl, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? I probably do. It's very strong and limber.
You tweet and you talk like one too. I can't look at you like doing that.
I'm super comfortable right now. Damn it, I had a question. Oh, I wanted to, before we go, I really wanted to, if anybody's on here right now that is out there in the front lines, if you will, at the grocery stores, your first responder, just want to say thank you for, delivery drivers, UPS.
You're welcome. You mean all the essential people?
Essential people. Yeah. I want to shout them out because.
Well, you're welcome.
What you?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Real
How
estate.
are you? What?
Real estate. Yeah, we're essential.
That shouldn't be essential. I don't know about that. Nobody should be buying a home right now.
What about traveling nurses and doctors?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, okay. So then you know what? They don't need to buy a home. They just need to rent a home. You can help more with that.
They're buying stuff. Somebody says we need to get you a princess phone.
I'd appreciate that. That'd be nice.
Little crown that you can wear. And
yeah.
All right. On a serious note, I thought, 60 law enforcement officers across the country have died from coronavirus.
Man.
And so it just it's real, man. I don't care what anybody says. It's real. And it's serious. And I just hope whatever we do, we'll get through it because we will. I mean, we are the United States of America. We'll beat it. And it sucks for a lot of people. I get it. cabin fever is real, but I just think we got to do a little bit more, and we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, eat healthy, take vitamins, get the vitamin C packets. I've been downing those vitamin C packets. Like that's a big part of fighting this virus off too, is being healthy. If you're overweight, lose some weight, go for some walks away from people,
Why you got to judge?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not judging you. I mean, maybe I am, but just saying.
Yeah.
Do some squats in your room or something.
Okay.
Right,
yeah, we'll do some squats in the basement. We'll come down to the
quarantine room.
To the quarantine basement. We'll do some squats.
I like
just
it.
for you.
Can we bring in Blue now?
Yeah, we can bring in Blue in there now. Let him go lick his toes.
No. He's out of control. You need to do something with. You really need to do something with Blue. He's going to bite my feet off.
And he's doing what he's supposed to.
That's true.
So, Darren, when are you back on the air again?
Monday.
Just
a week. Yeah, back on a Monday, and we'll have you guys on. Got to have you on.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
We'll do it social distancing.
I don't know if we need to bring him though, because he's been out of the state. So
I'm in quarantine right now. Just to let you know, I'm in quarantine. All right, for 2 weeks.
Go ahead.
Okay.
There we go. He's now officially quarantined. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone. If people need to contact you guys or somebody at your store about some cannabis related medicine or whatever, what do they need to do? Just go to the website?
Yeah, it's the best way. The www.PurLifeNM.com. And remember, there's no there's no E after the R. It's PurLifeNM.com.
All right. Very cool.
And remember, if you are a card holder, and if you're right now, your card is expired and has expired in the last month or so, your card is good until June the 15th. And I anticipate that it'll probably be extended a little longer than that.
Nice.
Okay. Awesome. Well, Darren, thank you for coming on with us. We appreciate it.
Always appreciate it. I want to thank you guys for being on when I did the morning show a couple of weeks ago. That was a lot of fun. 4.5 hours is a long time to do. And you guys are old pros, man. I mean, it was like you just got right in there, and it was like having the old Buck and Deck show back on KKOB, of course, but it was a lot of fun. And
you do a good job, man. You really do, Darren. I enjoy listening to you.
Thanks, guys.
Will you do me a favor? Next time we do this, can you ask your roommate to maybe put some powder on your head, because it's really shiny?
See, we're all having hair.
Maybe a little makeup?
Yeah, just a little powder on there. You got a little shine.
A little shine?
You're blinding the listeners.
I'm usually insecure about my bald head, but you know what? Screw it. Who cares? It's the end times, right? We're all going to die.
Hey, let's do something where we make a bet where you have to grow a skullet. Will you do that?
No.
Why not?
Get out of here.
Come on, grow a skullet.
Dex, no. I'm serious. Stop kicking your feet.
I'm actually working out right now. This is actually.
I want you to go back and watch that.
It's
disturbing.
We're just gonna get rid of them. All right. Hey, Darren, thanks so much for hopping on, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Be safe. Be well.
All right, people. I'm gonna leave you with this. Couch, stay on the couch. This is the advice of Dr. Fauci. Stay home. He's talking to you. Stay home. In viral times, exercise some self-control. So just sit tight. Your boss said you can work from home. Relax, recline, and sit back in your lazy boy. They make headlines. Cushions made of corduroy. Just sit back in your lazy boy. No need to go out. The safe thing to do
I'm talking to you. Stay home.